Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our advanced trainings. I literally want to say just training. As every Thursday, we are tackling different topics. And today we are continuing our MagHealy journey. So with MagHealy, we have tackled the atmospheric programs. We looked at some combinations of programs to actually create your space so you can start transforming yourself. We are moving into McMakin programs today, as McMakin programs are quite extensive, although they're just 2 sites, but they are quite different programs. So I decided to actually put them into 2 different sessions so we can actually tackle them deeper. Yeah, so you can actually have a bit of deeper understanding of how to use these programs, and not just look at it as the superficial patch for things for your body. So with further ado, let me just start sharing. And please let me know if you can see my slides. Just give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Okay. Welcome to Nervous System Regulation and Calming with MagHealy and McMakin programs. So nervous system has been a topic and everybody's been asking me, when are you going to do the nervous system? When are you going to do the nervous system? I specifically wanted to wait for the nervous system to be with McMakin programs. And you're going to see by the end of tonight's session why. McMakin programs are quite different from every other program in Healy Spectre or Healy group. And they have a really, really powerful effect on your body. Not only that, I also wanted to tackle other things before we do nervous system regulation, because nervous system is such an extensive topic to cover. I'm trying to put it into really simple terms for you so we don't go into all these, really hard words for you to understand. So it's really important to have just the basic understanding of how things work so you can actually start using them in your daily life. Okie dokie. So as every Thursday, on every trainings we do, we need to give you notice and, of course, disclaimer that Healy and MagHealy devices are a beautiful tool, and I'm still using it after 4 years, almost every single day. But they're not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or medical conditions. So that you need to have a health practitioner, GP that you work with. I can't take that responsibility for your health or for your well-being, but I do encourage you to start taking responsibility for your health and well-being, because you are the only one that can shift this. Yeah, and I'm talking about experience here. Yeah, as many of you know, I have healed and shifted everything that I was told I couldn't. So you have the ability to do that within yourself as well. You just need a bit of personal responsibility and a bit of knowledge to empower you to actually start implementing this information into your life. Okay, so today, as always, let's start. How do you regulate your nervous system? Pop in the comments. I want to hear, how do you actually regulate your nervous system? What do you use? What do you do? Do you know what regulation actually is? And if not, just let me know. I don't regulate, or I don't know how to regulate. And I would love to know, any of you actually do that daily? And probably a lot of you know how to do that. Probably a lot of you have already utilized a lot of practices. But if meditation, perfect. If you don't, I would love to know. Don't know. Okay. So in this case, let's do this. So how many of you have been experiencing anxiety? If you have been experiencing anxiety, pop a 1 in a comment. Reiki healing. Beautiful. I'm just looking at the chat. So that's why you can't see me, because I have 2 screens. Okay. Anxiety is one of the symptoms of dysregulated nervous system. Yeah. And it's just a label. Yeah. We put labels like we put labels for the emotion, but it in essence is just an energy in the body, right? So if we actually decide to, I'm not a doctor, I'm just giving you my experience, but if we actually decide to approach our body in a way that we literally take off the labels and we just look at it for what it is, we can actually start going deeper into the root cause of the issues, and we can just look at them for what they are instead of actually labeling them so they become a bit scary. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at it. So first of all, what is a nervous system? Yeah. So on the left, you will see a photo, which is actually how the neurons, which are in your nervous system, which are little cells, specific cells of the nervous system, which is like a integral organs, different organs, systems of the organs together in the body. And this is how neurons actually fire, meaning that electricity is transferred and we transfer information. Yeah. So the nervous system itself is actually a complex network within the body and on the surface of the body that actually coordinates different actions and sensory information by transmitting, so like electricity, signals, yeah, so electrical signals, electrochemical signals through the body. So it is composed of neurons, which are these specialized cells within the nervous system that carry this electrochemical charge or electrochemical information, which we call the pulse. So when you actually look at the energy here, this little light, it's literally a pulsating movement that happens, like like the zapping of electricity. That's kind of how it works through the neurons. And it's actually crucial not only for our calming of the system, but it's crucial for various functions. For example, in movement. So it actually governs all our movement of our limbs, and also the movement of the systems within the body. It also governs the sensory perception. Yeah, so how we take in the light, how we actually see things through our eyes, and how we experience things on the skin. So all our senses are actually activated through the nervous system. And it also the regulation of the bodily processes. So all the involuntary and the voluntary processes. So your breathing, which is involuntary, and digestion, which is involuntary. So all of those processes are governed by the nervous system. Yeah. And a lot of things that we actually don't have a clue what's happening in the body is governed by the nervous system. So overall, the nervous system is actually essential for maintaining the body's internal environment, what's going on inside, and enabling interaction with the external world. So our nervous system is actually like a translator of the information that's coming out from the environment to the inside of the body. So how should the body respond? What's going on? And how do we actually need to feel and adapt? So it's like an adaptation system, making it a fundamental aspect of any animal and human, biology. When we look at the definitions, humans are, in evolutionary aspect of science, we are counted as animal evolution. So we have similarities. So there is an interesting theory that I wanted to share later when we go into the structure of the nervous system, but that I've been just recently reading, which was kind of fascinating to look into. So that combines the evolution and the nervous system. So what is actually the function of the nervous system? In essence, we have the sensory processing, we have the motor control, we have the homeostasis, and the cognition and emotion. So sensory processes are literally what, we detect changes. As I said, it's translation of the information from the outside of the environment, and both internal and external senses of how things are processing, and all the senses that we have, right? This includes our intuition, because intuition actually is connected to our nervous system, because the nervous system is what charges our bioenergetic field, and bioenergetic field is what actually reads the information from our environment. So then motor control, it's all the sending the signals to the muscles, to facilitate the movement. And also homeostasis, which is really important in today's world when we are really under stress and our bodies are literally not in rest and digest systems, right? And this is regulating automatic bodily functions such as heart rate, digestion, and respiratory rate. Why is this here if we're talking about stress? Because when we're under stress, we're in a fight and flight response of the nervous system, which actually, well, it actually turns off all these functions of digestion, raises the heart rate, literally shrinks the lungs in a way to push the energy up so we can breathe faster, so we can run away from a tiger. So we are in this space or in this way of being for a long time when we're in a chronic stress, and that actually, well, damages the entire part of the physical body. And then we have cognition and emotion, which involves higher functions like thinking, memory, and emotional responses. So emotions are really important here, as well as the thought, because we know we're working with the quantum field. We are influencing through frequencies. And emotion is actually connected to our fascia, our connective tissue, which is really closely intertwined with the nervous system and affects the nerves in the body. And it also has more than 200 that actually can be activated within the fascia system. So it's really important to understand that we have a specific, every single thing in the body has a specific role, and all of those things are really combined. So let's look at why I'm saying this, because you're going to see it in the structure. So I tried to find a really simplistic photo that would actually show you how many organs are actually involved in the nervous system connection, right? So we need to understand that our whole body is covered with nerves, and not one organ is actually without the connection to the brain. So we have the brain, and then we have a spinal cord, and through that spinal cord, this is where the nerves are running. And we have our central nervous system and then peripheral nervous system. So those are two different systems, which are like two levels of the nervous system. So the central nervous system is what comes from the brain and goes through the spine. Yeah. Anything else that goes out of that, we call the peripheral nervous system, that actually connects to every single organ, every single part of the body. So the central nervous system actually connects to your brain, your spinal cord, where the brain processes information, coordinates responses within the body, while the nerves in the spinal cord actually transmit signals between the brain and the rest of the body. So it's literally like the spine is like a bridge, the brain is literally the manager of the body. Yeah, so the nervous system is like a communication pathway. And peripheral nervous system is literally where things get not digested or congested, or things kind of go high wire. Yeah. And normally it goes, so it starts with the peripheral nervous system and it moves back to the central nervous system. So if things are going on in the peripheral nervous system for too long, they will affect the central nervous system. So you can see the activities of both the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, which are part of the peripheral nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system, it actually consists of the nerves outside the central nervous system. It connects to the central nervous system in the brain, to the limbs, organs, and it's further divided into two parts. So we have the somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. You probably heard of that. So a lot of people focus on the autonomic nervous system, which is, connected to involuntary functions like heartbeat, digestion, because this is where we have the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, which actually connect to our vagus nerve, our rest and digest. Yeah, so when we're under stress, we want to go back into rest and digest, and that promotes the state of rest and relaxation. And the sympathetic nervous system, which actually prepares us, the whole body, in case of a tiger, of a stressful situation where adrenaline floods the body, and when we go into fight and flight, where we actually have to have the energy to actually do something. But a lot of people forget about the somatic nervous system. So this is also a part of the peripheral nervous system, and this is the system that's connected to fascia, that has so many nerves in there that covers the entire body. And if fascia is squeezed enough, which happens with suppressed emotions, which happens with too much stress in the body, because fascia is actually the structure of the body. If that squeezes and squeezes and squeezes and talks, what happens is fascia actually lines every single nerve. It goes around all the nerves. So if it squeezes, it will squeeze the nerve. So the information through the nervous system doesn't flow properly. So we tend to focus only on digestion or de-stressing techniques, but we forget about what damage was already caused in order to actually release that out of the body. So we need to look at both sides of the peripheral nervous system, which is influencing our central nervous system, and the information that's coming from there and back to it. So this is a really simplistic view, just letting you know. I haven't gone deeply into things, but the things that we want to focus on is the somatic and autonomic nervous system. So let's look at how we can actually do that. So before we go into adaptation, so you can actually understand, a lot of people say to me, I need to calm down the nervous system. I need to be in this calm space because I've been, agitated for so long. But nervous system, it's supposed to be adaptable. So this is actually an information center. It's a pathway of information. So it literally needs to be strong enough to not only digest the information, but also to respond to it. So we need to build a resilient and adaptable nervous system, and not just keep it, on a really low frequency of calm and rest, because that also literally can lead to fatigue and actually depression, because we need the balance of both hormones, right? Our oxytocin and endorphins, which are literally happy hormones, which our body actually calms down, and melatonin when it rests. But we also need to have the adrenaline and cortisol, because cortisol gets us up in the morning. Adrenaline actually moves us forward so we can actually create things, and it also saves our life. So it's really important to understand all of these things are important in balance, and nervous system needs to be strong enough in order to be adaptable. So as we looked at, there's different parts of the nervous system, and there's also different symptoms for each part when the nervous system is dysregulated. So emotional symptoms like anxiety and panic attacks, depression, mood swings, irritability and emotional instability, we normally observe those majority of time during, our regular daily activities, or now in our world where there's a lot of stress, we normally see the emotional symptoms that come up that actually tell us that our nervous system is dysregulated. Then we have the cognitive symptoms, which is difficulty concentrating or focusing, memory loss or impaired mental clarity, confusion or disorientation. So this is kind of like the brain fog that comes in, or the lag, like, you kind of take time to actually understand what somebody's saying and then before you respond. So that's also connected to your nervous system. Then we have physical symptoms. This is a bit further. So when your nervous system has been dysregulated for a long time, then it goes further into more substantial issues. So we can feel like fatigue or lethargy, so we can be lethargic. So this is where we kind of look at, when we talk about adrenal fatigue and we talk about, exhaustion. So because adrenals are part of the glands above the kidneys, and kidneys are connected to our nervous system. That's why we feel fatigued. Yeah, because nervous system takes energy in order to process all this information that's coming in and out. Then we have sleep disturbances, including insomnia or excessive sleeping, headaches or migraines. We can have dizziness or lightheadedness, numbness or tingling sensations in the limbs. That could also be connected to minerals because nervous system. So we need to understand when nervous system is dysregulated, what happens in the body. Your body uses, and hear me now, your body uses 10 times more minerals than you would use normally. So when you're under stress and when you're always in a fight and flight, your body will use 10 times more minerals than you would normally use for a regular day or where you want to rest and digest. So make sure that when you're under stress or when you're putting your nervous system back to balance, that you are literally feeding your body with minerals. Because not, yes, great, digital nutrition is amazing because your body will absorb more. But if you've been dysregulated for a long time, you will need building blocks for your body to actually come in balance. So make sure that you're adding minerals to your body physically, as well as using digital nutrition, as well as some programs that we're going to look at today. And then, of course, we have the motor symptoms, which are loss of coordination or balance, weakness or loss of muscle strength, some tremors or involuntary movements, slurred speech, or difficulty with verbal communication. Yeah. So, for example, I can tell you with my partner, when he and I met, this was now almost 23 years ago. He had a stutter and nobody could fix it. All the doctors said, this is how you're going to live it. And when I actually saw it and I had a feeling with my own intuition, I said, this is nervous system dysregulation. And I have a feeling that that's suppressed trauma emotionally. So let's work on that. So we started working on that, suppressing emotions, building his confidence, moving things around. And today he does not stutter at all. He does not have that aspect at all. So it's really important to understand, to listen to our body, to understand what's been going on, to actually support it, and not just have a label right away, because there's so many different ways our body is expressing, and we are all different. And then autonomic symptoms, which are changes in the heart rate or blood pressure. So that can also happen, with anxiety, but also then if that's prolonged, that can actually damage the rhythm of the heart because it has a different frequency, because the frequency influences frequency. And then we have digestive issues because more stress. The vagus nerve is within our digestive tract. And if we're always in a fight and flight response, the frequency in there is always contracted. And then you will create an environment for different type of bacteria, and that will create digestive issues. And also nausea or changes in appetite, yeah, because you're changing your bacterial, the flora of your gut. And then sensitivity to light or sound. So for people that have trauma that in the body, still holding on to trauma in the body, you will notice that they actually have an issue with sunlight. So their eyes can't handle sunlight. Or, for example, like too intense sounds. That just means that the nervous system has been dysregulated for so long, and they actually need nervous system regulation, literally working on somatic exercises and literally taking out the trauma out of the body, but also balancing the body systems to come back to their adaptability. And that takes time, because a lot of people ask me, yeah, but when will this happen, right? You need to understand that if you eliminated all the stress and you live in a beautiful, balanced environment, your only adrenal glands, I'm not talking about anything else that you need to address within the body that's still stored as a trauma, meaning suppressed emotion in your fascia that actually is influencing your nervous system. So only adrenal glands need at least 3 months to come back to balance. So, and that's just the beginning. So we need to understand that this is a process. So nervous system is so important because it's influenced by so many things in the body that it's really important to understand that you're going to have a roller coaster with this. So when we are trying to heal and balance the nervous system, we need to, something comes up and then we balance. And again, something comes up and we balance. And again, something comes up and we look at digestive, issues. And then something comes up and there's a heart or lung situation coming up, or maybe a detoxification comes up. So there's so many things that they're layered in our body, and nervous system is connected to every single organ. So when you're literally balancing your nervous system, you need to be really, really vigilant and aware of how your body is responding on different levels. Instead of going into fear of, oh my God, horrible things are happening, listen to the body, because the body is telling you, this is where I need support, or this is where I need support. So how can I shift this so I can calm my nervous system down and help to transform whatever is going on in the body? Okay. This is a lot, so I'm not going to go into details. I can give you the slide if you want to, but I wanted to give you some additional options. You probably are doing a lot of them already. How to actually create an adaptable nervous system. So this is not just to calm and regulate your emotions when you're in a hyper state or when you get triggered. Yeah. So when you get triggered, what happens is literally a frequency goes into your body, into your nervous system responds. That's the only thing that happens within the trigger. So your old perception of something did not match the new perception, and the frequencies that meet get agitated. So the one that's out of balance, which is normally, for example, if I get triggered, it's my frequency that's out of balance, because the trigger means that there's a suppressed emotion in the body, there's a trauma in the body that's not in balance with who I am. So if an outside frequency comes and literally rattles that, it means that it's coming up to the surface, so I don't need it anymore, so I can release it. So that's why it's really important to have tools and practices for you to regulate yourself and your nervous system in situations like that, because there's probably a lot of them throughout your day. But also so you can actually build adaptability, meaning that you actually develop a different perspective on the world and your perception starts changing, so you do not take things personally. And when things get triggered, you can move yourself away so you don't agitate your nervous system as much as you would normally do. So things that I love doing, I've popped things that I love doing in here that I also teach in my retreats, but and online communities. But embodiment practices are crucial. People start with, meditations and journaling, and that's perfectly fine. But staying in the head, yeah, or getting out of the body through meditation, because majority of people kind of tend to do that, it actually that's an escapism. Yeah. So escaping the situation that you need to transform. So when we actually go into the body, that doesn't mean we need to relive the trauma. Yeah, because certain practices are actually taking you to the space where you need to relive the trauma. You don't have to. You have a Healy for that. So Healy actually helps you vibrate frequencies in your body so they come up for your awareness. And if you use the embodiment practices, you can actually transform things really fast. You don't have to relive them. You just literally get the memory, the frequency of that memory. And if you have the tools, you can actually start transforming them right away. And then you also have healing programs to actually balance your nervous system back to its optimal, so you are not feeling agitated for days afterwards. Yeah, because we need to understand, when we are shifting things within our body, meaning we are agitating our nervous system because there are things that are suppressed in the body. And when we are opening that box, it will activate the nervous system automatically. So embodiment practices, meaning literally looking at the sensations of the body, where you have tension, doing for example, body scans, also breath work through specific areas of the body. All of that enhances touch. Touch is really important when it comes to somatic exercises, really looking at the responses of the body. Then we have breath work. Whoever does the breath work knows how breath work is important. Looking at the energetic part of breath work, breath actually carries energy through the body, so it moves the energy through the body, and it also alters states of consciousness within our brain, so it actually takes us out of the ego and takes us into the body. So we want to be in the body because everything that we have been suppressing and it's influencing our nervous system is in with the body. So breathwork also oxygenates our organs and our cells. And an oxygenated cell is actually a healthy cell. A cell that's not oxygenated, it's sooner or later a dead cell. So make sure that oxygen, this is research that's showing that more oxygen in the body actually lowers inflammation and actually changes the structure of our DNA. So make sure that you do some breath work in the morning or at night if you can. Throughout the day. The easiest breath work, as I told you before already, for calming the nervous system is double inhale and a long exhale. So it's literally, yeah, and really try to feel the breath. So make sure that you inhale to the top and add another inhale as much as you can, and then use your breath, use your mouth and your whole lung and chest area in order to exhale that breath out, because that vibration coming out, you can also use sounds like because that sound has been proven that actually regulates your nervous system automatically. So those are really simple exercises that you can use anytime throughout the day. Physical activity, of course, exercise releases endorphins. Make sure that you do not do, especially for women, yeah, do not do high intensity workouts or high intensity exercises if you're trying to regulate your nervous system, because that will release more adrenaline and your body will think that it's in fight and flight. So walking is actually amazing, because walking, just to let you know, uses the same part of the brain that actually is used for creativity and relaxes your nervous system. So it's really important to actually just do walking and process, and also creativity and processing the emotions. So you can actually do that at the same time when you're walking. You're literally moving your energy through the body. Dancing, yoga, Pilates, anything that's swimming, especially in the ocean. Those are all beautiful nervous system regulating activities that actually helps regulate your nervous system as well as your adrenal glands. Mindfulness meditation, we know that observing ourselves in the moment, breathing through that is really important. Weighted blankets or 20-second hugs. So we and our nervous system goes through like with our skin, yeah. So when we actually have some pressure on our body, what we actually are doing, we are sending signals to the brain that we are safe. So literally kneading the body, yeah, or pressing on the body, having like a weighted blanket, or best option if you can have a friend or partner actually give you a 20-second hug. And if it's skin to skin, it's even better because then bacteria actually moves from skin to skin and actually regulates your nervous system. But it needs to be at least 20 seconds. So you can choose to use the, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi seconds if you want to. That's an option. But at least 20 seconds. It's been researched that after 20 seconds, your nervous system and your cortisol level actually drops 70%. So just letting you know, that's a really simple exercise to do. Self-reflection journaling. We know that self-reflection is important to actually change our habits, to change what's not working for us, what's actually causing the dysregulation already. And don't forget to, don't focus only on the negative when you're journaling. Don't forget to actually focus on the positive, meaning the dream state. So literally dreaming and writing about your full expression of who you truly are. So dreaming about things that you want to create, not just the things that you want to change. And then, of course, community and support. Of course, having a professional guidance is important, and having, focused nervous system regulation, step-by-step structure, which is really important because we are creating safety in the body. Anything that's connected to the nervous system is safety in the body. But community is crucial. Belonging somewhere and being accepted somewhere, being a part of something, it's wired in our brain, and it actually influences our nervous system. So make sure you surround yourself with people that actually care about you and that actually accept you for who you are, so you can train your brain differently and regulate your nervous system. A lot of people forget about the last one: experimentation and exploration. This is what I teach all the time. Why? Because if we don't try something new, we never understand or experience what can that do to us or to our body. Yeah. If we are just trusting everyone else to do things for us, we never understand what that means for ourselves. And we need to try different things to see what resonates. And exploration is a part of childhood play. And childhood play is the center in our brain that actually regulates our nervous system. So make sure to play, make sure to have fun, make sure to explore, try new things, get yourself out of the box. And, don't weigh yourself down so much. I know it's hard when nervous system is out of balance. Trust me, I know I'm still regulating mine. But it's really important to try new things, yeah, and have fun at the same time. Okay, now the fun stuff for MagHealy. Now we understand what's going on in the body. We understand what we need to support. So let's look at what programs we can use in order to actually support our nervous system. So first of all, I want to actually give some honor to this beautiful lady, Carolyn McMakin. So if you don't know, MagHealy, this little UFO, yeah, was actually created. So the initial idea of creating MagHealy was to create it for her programs. MagHealy, we know, has two different coils inside, and these two different coils were actually created specifically to carry the information of Carolyn McMakin frequency specific microcurrent, which are literally frequencies in pairs. Yeah, I'm going to look at what that means. So we know that Carolyn McMakin, which is FSM, we call it short, it is frequency specific microcurrent. So the specific frequencies, yeah, one frequency and the other frequency, and nothing else going out into the magnetic field. And these programs are actually specialized applications designed to harmonize the bioenergetic field of the body through the use of frequency pairs. So one frequency targets one thing and the other frequency targets something else, but together actually create a really beautiful synergistic effect in the body. So you can use it for various things. McMakin, Carolyn was actually known, and she was literally a chiropractor. She started in her 40s. Yeah, she literally enrolled in medical school, and then opened the clinic, bought a clinic from a guy that left her a frequency machine with a list of frequencies in the back, and she started experimenting. And she became a doctor of fibromyalgia and myofascial pain clinic in Portland. She is the most known to actually support the AFL in US, the sportsmen. And she had remarkable recoveries of these people. I watched I don't know if you watched any of her YouTube videos. She also has a podcast, frequency specific microcurrent education. She teaches people how to do this. And I remember watching one of her videos, and she described how one of the players actually had a torn ligament, and he was told that he will not walk for at least 6 months before he would start any rehabilitation or starting to play. It would be at least over a year. And one of her friends, which was also a chiropractor, was working with that club, and he called her and she came in, on the way out of hospital, she already put sticky pads on this guy and, started running frequencies. And he literally went back into training in 6 weeks. So this is an amazing recovery. And she has, duplicated these effects through her clinic, through every other person that she taught. She also has a fibromyalgia program because she says that there's 4 different types of fibromyalgia. And one of the fibromyalgia programs that she has that are specific to one part, she has a 60-minute program, and in that 60 minutes, the fibromyalgia is gone for people. So it's a really, really interesting field to actually explore. And, it sounds like miraculous, but our body is able to heal, and it has the ability if we given the right environment. Don't think that this is a magic pill, right? Because Healy programs are not intended to actually cure you. We know that. But her programs are amazing. Like, I can contest to that. Yeah. Okay, so she still runs partially. Well, I think now she's finished with her practice, but she still teaches people. She still runs the podcast. So if you're more interested in that, you can find her podcast. It's actually really fascinating to listen. But her programs do not. So we know that MagHealy as well as Healy, they have our beautiful quantum sensor or noise generator resonance sensor within them, right? And all the other programs in MagHealy actually have a huge pool of frequencies that quantum sensor actually analyzes through the noise, right? Feedback from the environment and to us, and then chooses the right frequencies to actually send us through the magnetic field within the MagHealy. With her programs, that sensor is not valid. So it is not utilized. Yeah. The sensor still works, but it's not utilized in this, in the way that we are used to, because her programs work completely differently. So how do they work? So they work in frequency pairs. So the first program, which is the first pair, well, the first frequency of the pair, seriously, defines the nature of the application. So this is what we call the issue, yeah? And then the second frequency targets the specific area of function being addressed in the bioenergetic field, what we call the tissue, yeah? So I'm gonna share with you all of those combinations, so don't stress, yeah? You're gonna get all of them. So this is not my work, yeah? So I wanna give tribute to my beautiful, beautiful friend, Britt Hanlon. She's a time waver practitioner. She also is a FSM specific, frequency specific microcurrent practitioner. She trained with Carolyn McMakin, and her knowledge is just amazing. So I just wanted to give tribute to her. So this is her information. And if you want to connect with her, I gave you her site on the bottom as well, to actually honor her work. So I will tell you the programs that I normally use for nervous system regulation, but you are more than welcome to check all the information in here and decide for yourself. So this is the McMakin Harmonization Program 2. We have the one as well. It's coming next week. So majority of the programs in here are actually targeted for inflammation and nervous system regulation, because that is what is so important in our body, that the whole page is dedicated to it. Yeah, because we understand that if our nervous systems are not regulated, we have high inflammation, the digestive system doesn't work, we have more pain. There's so many things that are actually connected to that. So the programs that I love using are sleep. So if you look at sleep, you will see the issue being harmonized and the tissue being harmonized. So these are 2 different frequencies, and you will see that the pool of these frequencies is really small. So what the program itself does, it combines pairs. So it chooses specific pairs together that work perfectly, and it sends it out to your body for a specific amount of time. Yeah, so you will see what it has in here. So it has nerve trauma, it has emotional tension, mental tension, inflammation, which Carolyn McMakin is actually known for. She was the first to actually figure out that the frequency of 40 hertz is actually the frequency that lowers inflammation. So, and this is what it is in these programs. Yeah. And then we have trauma reset, meaning complete reset of the sleep system. Increased secretions, meaning fluids and movements through the body, and increased vitality, meaning the energy of the cell, how it divides, and how we actually regenerate. And then we also, you can see the sleep. It's not just sleep. You have the adrenal cortex in here. So you have kidneys. So this is all nervous system connected. You also have thalamus and cerebrum, which is literally the part of the brain at the back, and thalamus actually controls the adrenal glands and controls information in the body. And then you also have the pineal gland. Yeah, the pineal gland, which is interesting. I wanted to share this with you. I've actually read a study the other day. It's not proven yet, but it was a really interesting information. A guy actually, he's been a vagus nerve practitioner for years, and he's been looking into a connection between this specific worm like an animal, and our vagus nerve and nervous system. And he found a really interesting connection that the vagus nerve in this worm, as well as in our body, it's a completely the same structure, completely the same positioning, and he found that it actually ends in pineal gland that influences our protection system, which is connected to energetic field, as well as our intuition. So it's an interesting theory to explore. So I'm really interested in what will come out. But if we see, this one is pineal gland, because pineal gland also connects to melatonin. Yeah, melatonin balances sleep. And then, of course, brain harmony, because brain is the one controlling things with the nervous system. And look at, it says relaxation, emotion, tension, inflammation, trauma, vitality, and reset. So trauma is physical trauma and emotional trauma. Yeah. And you have also different frequencies in here that again help the brain to balance. Nerves harmony is one of the programs that I love to use, which is inflammation, trauma, torn, broken. So if nerves are broken or torn, this is a frequency to actually help increase the healing. Reset of the nerves, yeah, and the increased secretion, increased vitality. And then we have a paired frequency, which is only the nerves, yeah. And then, of course, we have the vagus nerve harmony, which is amazing. I love the vagus nerve and sleep combination for myself. And you can see the specific frequencies that are in here as well. Then, of course, the detox and the kidney harmony and the digestive harmony, those are all connected to the nervous system. So if we look at the detox, I'll show you. The detox also has emotional tension in here. Yeah, not just toxicity, it has an emotional tension, because those are also toxins coming from emotions that need to be detoxed because they're influencing the nervous system. And of course, the liver frequency, because the liver is actually digesting all of that. Yeah. And then the kidney harmony. The kidney harmony is not just the kidneys and adrenals, it actually helps with kidney stones. Yeah. So Karen McMakin has been actually known to help past kidney stone, actually shatter them with frequency in her own clinic. She uses frequency specific microcurrent with sticky pads, but she also uses it through magnetic field. And then, of course, digestive harmony, because we know vagus nerve literally touches almost every single organ and ends and feathers out in the digestive system. So you can see you have the emotional tension here, you have the reset, you also have the trauma, inflammation, parasites, worms, but you also have the small intestine, which is the absorption, lymph, which moves the toxins out, and the full-on vagus nerve frequency in here with the digestive harmony. Yeah, so you can see that everything connects for the nervous system regulation and balance. So if you are feeling a bit tense, I would actually use either vagus nerve harmony or the sleep. Yeah, those are actually really, really good. If you're feeling like a bit depressed or like your brain is not really working well, brain harmony is really good. So I'm going to give you these slides. You can get them in my Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group, let me know. I'll pop in the link as well for you. Okay, so that's about it for today. Let me know if there's any question. Bring up your hand if you want to. I'm just going to see if there's anything in the chat. Ta-da-dum, ta-da-dum. Yes, Brit is amazing. Yes, I agree. I love the combination. Like Brit is beautiful. Like she's my friend and I love her dearly. And my friend Jazz Deep, that was here as well. She actually trained with Brit. And these are just amazing human beings with so much knowledge. And it's just, for me, it's an honor to be in their presence and actually be learning from them all the time. And yes, so Brie does time waiver. I done the time waiver with her as well. It's an amazing thing. Literally, I love the combination of time waiver and Healy all together. Okay. Oh, hands. Amar. Next one, HP. HP. I don't know if that's your name, but okay.
Oh, that's Nitika. I have not given my name. It's showing
That's
HP.
okay. Yeah.
So, Petra, the program was just great. And today I met a person, she had depression. So I wish I had heard of your this lecture. I would have given her more information. So,
That's okay.
anyways,
You can still give her the information.
yeah, I'll definitely do that. So, regards to, I'm wanting to do fat loss on myself. So, I was wanting to know out of these therapies and programs, which would be the best one that I should go for because it's related to your vagus, your gut digestion, and as you said, adrenals get affected if you are always in stress and life is nothing but stress. One day no, one day yes, one day up, down. So how do you maintain on that? Because that is something shocking that you said that it's like 7% of your, you need 10% more of minerals if you're in shock. So that's amazing knowledge.
Ten
So how
times
do
more
we,
minerals.
yeah.
Um,
So one
so
thing is fat metabolism. How do I get, make it faster? I'm working on weight therapy program and liver program. So I do not know amongst MagHealy which other McMakin this program, which ones to go for.
okay, so I had this question, I think last week. Somebody sent me personally. Um, so when it comes to weight loss, yeah, we have two different types of weight loss, right? We can lose weight, but normally if we don't eat properly or we are stressed, we normally use muscle instead of fat. So because our body will always protect us, yeah. So looking at the weight loss, meaning looking at the fat loss, there's few, there's everybody's different, but the way I look at it, yeah, is your body's holding on to that fat for a reason. Why is that reason? So we need to figure out what the reason is, right? So normally with women, especially after, they after 40, after 43 or 44, when we actually, especially if we've been living a stressful life, our progesterone declines. Yeah. And that also means that we have too much estrogen, which holds the water, meaning that it's harder to lose fat because our body feels it's under stress. So there's different ways to approach things, but the way I approach it for myself, yeah, is to actually focus on the things that are not related to fat. Let's look at that, yeah, because we are so focused on the outcome, yeah, that we forget why that actually happened, yeah, because if your nervous system is out of whack, you're not sleeping well, you're actually not resting, your body will hold on to weight, especially after 40 years of age, because your thyroid will think that you're under attack. Yeah? So you actually need to create an environment for yourself where you sleep enough, where you sleep quality, you have a quality sleep, and then you actually have a rhythm. You come back to your circadian rhythm, not your forced rhythm, but your body's rhythm. Yeah. So, for example, your natural cycle program is actually really good for that because it balances your meridians. We're going to do a session on that in September. Yeah. But how to start? So if you haven't been doing any detoxification protocols, like if you haven't done Gold Cycle for a month, if you haven't done Deep Cycle H for a month, if you haven't been on Power of Three protocol, then I would encourage you to actually start there. Why? Because when your gut is actually good, then you can absorb the minerals and the nutrition from the small intestine. Your microbiome in the gut influences your nervous system and your emotional well-being. So that will help you balance and regulate your nervous system. Then you actually create a routine for your nervous system to actually come back to your natural circadian rhythm. You will need to adjust your food. Yeah, so no sugars, low carbohydrates, because carbohydrates, especially simple carbohydrates like breads and grains, yeah, especially if your nervous system is dysregulated, they act like sugars and they affect your nervous system. Regular meals are really important for adrenal glands and for regulating your nervous system, because otherwise your body thinks it's under stress, it doesn't have food, so it will hold on to the fat. Yeah. So you want to actually allow the body to start losing fat and using fat for energy instead of using sugar for energy. Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
if
I'm
you're
already
already,
doing that. Yeah. Already no carbs, no sugar,
perfect.
no grains.
Yeah, so you don't have to go no sugar, no grains. Like just make sure that it's not overloading the body. Yeah. And then you can start using fitness programs. If you've done the detoxification already, you can actually start using fitness programs. And I would encourage you to, this is what I did for myself, is to actually search in your Heal Advisor search app, search weight loss and digital nutrition, and just put it onto your IMF schedule and just vibrate digital nutrition every day,
Right. I did
because
search.
your body needs nutrients. Yeah.
Yeah, I did search on the Healy Advisor. It gave me 3 options.
Healy Advisor analysis or Healy Advisor search.
Healy Advisor search.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay.
So it
So
gave
as I
me,
said, I would recommend fitness programs and digital nutrition. Yeah. And then how you choose it and how you do it, it's your choice to do. Yeah.
so it
But
said
that's
harmony
for weight
weight
loss.
4. It said harmony weight 4, nutrition 24, harmony weight 3.
The list of programs.
Okay.
You just choose the top one.
The
Or
top
you go
one.
into specifically to digital nutrition. There's a digital nutrition sector in your Healy
Yeah.
Search app. Yeah. You go into digital nutrition and just write weight or weight loss, and you will
Okay.
see what digital nutrition programs will come up. Yeah.
I go to digital nutrition first
Yes.
and then weight.
But
And
because we need minerals, we need nutrients, because otherwise our body doesn't have building blocks. It can't let go of things. Yeah. But
okay.
you need to address the stress for sure. You need to address the toxins in your body. And of course, you need to exercise, right? Lifting weights is much better than cardio or going for walks or, grounding. Those are all really important parts of,
I'm
coming
doing
back to
a
circadian rhythm.
standing cycle, like I'm doing standing cycle for 30 minutes. that I'm doing.
Whatever works for you, just observe your body, right? But those are the programs that I would recommend to start with.
Okay. So
Yeah.
coming to sleep, there are so many programs of sleep in Healy and MagHealy. So which exactly
Yes.
sleep should take? Which one should you take?
It depends on your body. That's why there's so many programs. So I
Yeah.
can't give you one program because there's so many programs. Your body needs different things. So you need to try them to see what works for you. Like for me, it worked. Local stimulation, insomnia works really well for me. For a friend of mine, yeah, I love the sleep program on MagHealy, and I love the vagus nerve harmony on MagHealy. That works really well for me. I'm
So
now
vagus nerve
currently
harmony will give you a better sleep.
try it, and then
Okay.
you'll see. Because
Okay.
literally, I just did the training on that, and I literally said that. Yeah, because when
Oh,
nervous system is regulated, then we sleep better. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. Ooh, hello. So many hands. Atiraj, I don't know how do you
Yes.
pronounce it. Sorry for that.
Yeah, Raj. You can simply
Raj.
call me Raj. Yeah. Can you please help me? Which program we should use for peripheral neuropathy? That's the diagnosis.
So there isn't, I can't, I'm not a doctor, so I can't help you with that. Medical questions I can't answer. If you would like to support that for yourself, you can try in a Heal Advisor search app. You can try searching in there, but unfortunately, I can't answer medical questions. Yeah.
Okay. For numbness in the foot, that's a common ailment.
Well, as I said, that's I've been trying to teach you. Yeah. So it's not about symptoms. It's about looking at where does it come from? Why is it there? So it could be anything. Like, as I said, I'm not a doctor. I can't look at, I'm not in your body. I don't really understand what's going on, what your history was, what you're doing now, what your lifestyle is. There's so many things that can affect that. So you need to figure out if there's a numbness in your foot, either there's a nerve situation, a meridian situation, there's so many things that can happen, right? But you can scan yourself with Heal Advisor and Analysis app and see what comes up. Start vibrating that, or you can start using local stimulation, for chronic pain or for things like that, or circulation programs. Like you can search in the Heal Advisor search app, and see what comes up. Programs come up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Okay. Nia. I hope so I pronounced that correctly. Sorry.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Petra, for the session. One question, while using MagHealy, I wanted to know, uh, do we change the percentage of the current, or we keep it as it is? Suppose for different programs, it is different, right? So do we need to
Definitely.
increase or decrease
So,
that, or
in your MagHealy app, the pink app, let me just show you. Okay. Let me go and see. Open up my app. Sorry, give me 3 seconds so I can actually show you. So in your MagHealy app, you have a manual that will actually show you recommendations. Okay, let me just share my screen so you can actually see. Can you see my phone?
yeah?
Okay, why is it not working? That's really strange. Huh, okay, that is strange. Okay, let me try again. That is strange. Okay, I have no idea why that happened. I'll try again to see if it actually works. No, now this won't work, hopefully. Let me just share. Okay, here you can see my MagHealy. It's running on holistic health right now. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop. So I have this one on 100% because it's an atmospheric program. Yeah. But I use things for myself for the way I feel. But I'm gonna show you something. So I'm just gonna stop this one. I'm gonna go out. So if you go into Info Center and you have your guide, you have an app guide here, and it will actually show you, see? This is actually your MagHealy Classic application. It will show you all the programs, the duration, and also intensity, how you should run it, the recommendation of intensity. Yeah? So you can actually run these based on the Healy recommendations, or you can choose
Between
based
these
on,
range.
yes. So for example, this one is Cell Harmony. It recommends to run it between 70 to 100%. So start at 70%, yeah, and then see how you feel, and then see if your body needs more, yeah. But for example, this one that's between 20 and 50, which is your tiredness, and I understand why they put it between 20 and 50 because it's actually working on the nervous system, yeah. You don't want to agitate it too much. You want it to have a lower intensity. So these are all recommendations, like even for McMakin programs. I'm just going to go here. McMakin, yeah. So for example, the ones that we had today, for example, Vegas Harmony, between 20 and 100. Because it depends, right? So if your vagus nerve is really agitated, you're not going to run it on 100%, right? You're going to run it on 20 because you don't want to agitate your nervous system. So use these recommendations. If you're just starting with magnetic fields, start with the smaller versions, the smaller intensity, and then start building up and see how your body responds. If you're getting agitated, then it's overloading your body. Yeah, so if you're feeling anxious or like not settled in the body, then something's out of balance. Yeah, so you either overdoing it, you're having too many programs, or you have too high intensity. Yeah, but this is all in your Healy. Yeah, so if you explore a bit in your Healy, you will find things. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was helpful.
You're welcome. Okay, next one, Kunal.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. How can I help?
Hi, hi. Yeah, 1 second, 1 second. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Beautiful. Ask away. I can't hear you now. Let me unmute you. I can't hear you. Try now. Try unmuting.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Hi, hi. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Ask away.
Yeah, fine. Acha. Now, actually, especially, I just feel that, the vibrations in my house are so I don't feel having a good sleep in my house, and so I have been using MagHealy and Healy, both MagHealy and Healy, both I'm using it. So I'm feeling at times, oversleeping is is more to do with my regular sleep cycle. Earlier, I had insomnia. Then, with regular exercise and using the Healy, I have overcome the insomnia issue. But now I'm having too much of oversleeping.
What is your question?
Hello. Hello.
What is your question?
My question is that, with using the MagHealy, how do I balance my hormones? I've seen that, I've just checked up with the doctor. I'm having an hormonal imbalance issue. So what is the program I should use in MagHealy where I can balance my hormones?
So we actually had a specifically dedicated advanced training session on the hormones. So you can actually go into the Facebook group. I'll post the link in the chat. You can go into the Facebook group under the guides, and you can look at the training for the hormones. Let me just pop this in here so you can actually.
Can you share it, that program now, ma'am? Can you share it now? Can you share it in the group now, if it is possible? Whenever you I have just shared the link to the Facebook group, and you can go in. So I can literally share with you. I can show you how it looks like. So you can go in here. So this is the Facebook group. Yeah. So if you go into the Facebook group, you go into the guides. Yeah. And in the guides, you have enormous amounts of trainings, and you can just find hormonal harmony with Healy. Yeah. So the recording will always be in the comments. Yeah, so you can go there. But remember, right, if you had insomnia before, your hormones were out of balance before anyway, so your circadian rhythm was out of balance. So I would encourage you to look at not only the programs to balance your hormones, but also looking at maybe natural cycle to actually balance your circadian rhythm, which we're going to have a training session in September for that, but it balances your meridians and all the parts of your circadian rhythm. So sleep and awake cycle, elimination cycle, your hormone balance of the awake and sleep cycle. So there's a lot of things in there as well. But I encourage you to actually look at that, as well as we did a specific training session on sleep. Yeah, so you can actually look at those programs as well. But with MagHealy specifically, I would definitely, so let me just go back here. Oh, no, not that one. Where are you? Here. So I would definitely look at sleep. Yeah, I would look at brain harmony. I would look at vagus nerve harmony. Yeah. So all of and nerves harmony. So all of these you can actually look at. If you've been having stress and trauma, emotions are really good too. Yeah, for this. And for now, this is but I would look at the training sessions on sleep and the hormone harmony in the Facebook group as well. And Petra, can you share the PDF, your PPT presentation? Can you share it in the link?
All of that is in the Facebook group, so you can actually access all of the.
No. The current one for the MagHealy, I'm asking. The MagHealy, the current presentation. The presentation, what you're doing for the MagHealy. Can you share that presentation now in the?
No, I can't share it in the chat, but it will be in the Facebook group for sure. So I will share the slides like I do it always in a JPEG form. So it's the photograph, so you can access it from your phone or from your computer. So it's simple for you to actually use. Yeah, so you can actually zoom in and zoom out if you need it, but it will be available in the Facebook group. Yes.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for your question. Okay. Next one, Dr. C, welcome back.
Hello. Yes. You have mentioned that kidney harmony helps kidney stone. Likewise, that gallbladder meridian, we can use it for gallbladder stone. Hello?
I'm so sorry, I didn't understand you. So I didn't mention.
Yeah, no, you have mentioned that in the kidney harmony helps for the kidney stone.
Yes.
So likewise, the gallbladder, this one, where you use it for the gallbladder stone.
Is that a question if you can use it for the gallbladder stone?
Yeah, no,
So remember, right? So these are McMakin programs, which are frequency specific programs. So these are applied differently and they're specific frequencies for specific things.
Okay.
So the gallbladder meridian has frequencies, a pool of frequencies that actually help to balance the gallbladder meridian. I don't know if there's a frequency for gallbladder stones in there, so I can't give you that answer, right? But McMakin program, this specific program for kidneys, actually has frequencies for kidney stones in there as well as other things to balance kidneys. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, last one, Divine. Welcome back.
Hey, thank you so much for accommodating us. Just a quick question I have. For MagHealy, can't we use Healy Advisor? Like for Healy programs, we have a white app, right? Healy Advisor. For MagHealy, do we have Healy Advisor?
No, not that I know of, but there's something that I've been asking as well, Healy Corporate. I don't have the answer for that. But as soon as I get it, I will let you know. But currently, no, you can't search MagHealy for that. No.
All right.
That's why I'm giving
Thank
you the list of programs as well as like for digital nutrition, right? Because you can search, but there was not a lot of description. That's why it took me 6 months to actually put everything together. So, you can actually access that information to actually use it for yourself, right? But remember, your Healy analyzer, so the Healy Blue app, the Analyze app, right? It's always really on point, right? So if you're ever doubting using your head, just scan. Like you have like a tool in your hand, just scan. Yeah, you don't have to use your head all the time. Just trust the Healy does its work. It does it every single time. It just blows my mind every single time. So just letting you know, I've been scanning people the last 2 weeks, and the stuff that comes up is just wow. Like I would not ever thought that it will come up. Yeah, so
I'm also
just
experiencing the same. Yeah.
Just trust. Yeah, so if you don't know, if you're not 100% sure, just scan the MagHealy programs in the Blue app and see what comes up and what you need. Yeah,
I will do that. Yeah, thank you.
No worries.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, that's about it. Oh my goodness. Any urgent questions in the chat that I need to address? Otherwise, I will love you and leave you. You are welcome. I'm glad that you're finding it of help. When you scan from Blue app, we must use a program having more than 60%. No. So in the Blue app, we have a whole training in the Facebook group. Wow, I think it was somewhere in January, if I'm not mistaken, that we've done on a Blue app. Yeah, so the higher the percentage that comes up, the more your body needs it. Yeah, but you can vibrate the whole list, right? So the way I do digital nutrition is a bit different. I just use the whole list of programs and I apply each program from the list, in literally in order. One day, one program per day for 5 days, and then I have 2-day break. Yeah, and I vibrate my whole list every day. So, but that's how I use it. That doesn't mean you have to use it that way. So you need to figure out what works for you. So here we go, experimentation and exploration. Play a bit, right? Have fun with it and see what happens, right? Because this is a new territory for all of you. being in this world. And I know it's kind of hard because you're trying to use your brain and you can't use your brain because this is a quantum field and you can't overanalyze quantum field, unfortunately. So you now need to trust your body. I get it. It's hard. You need to get out of the box, and I'm stretching you, and I'm not giving you the answers. And Petra's annoying because she doesn't give me the answer that I need. I get it. But unfortunately, and fortunately, I'm trying to teach you to empower yourself, not to rely on me, but to empower yourself. That's why we have this, yeah? Because it has the sensor in it. It analyzes your field. It knows more than I do. So make sure that you are using it. Make sure that you're trusting yourself, and make sure that you are not overusing your head and start using your body. So if your body says, I'm anxious, I don't like this, then stop. Yeah, don't just keep going. Like, you need to stop and listen. Yeah, otherwise, if you're not listening, what are you doing? Yeah, so communication happens with talking and listening. So that's about my rant. Next week, we are going into the comfort in the body, pain and discomfort with McMakin program. So we're going to take a look at that because, of course, pain happens with inflammation. So we're going to look at that next week. And then September is really, really good because we have the natural cycle. I think it's coming the first week of September. And it's going to be really cool because the starting date, if you are looking into balancing your circadian rhythm and your meridians, the starting date is on the 22nd of September. So because natural cycles need to go on specific dates, and we're going to look at that, how that all works. But it's really cool because we are coming into some cool trainings. But that's it for tonight for me. And of course, if you have any questions, please post them in the Facebook group. We have a huge community, over 1,000 people now, everybody helping each other, supporting each other, which is beautiful to see. And that's all I ever wanted, is for you to help each other and grow together and actually share your experiences. Because if we don't share, how the heck will you know what to try? Yeah? Be a community, be a human. Share your heart, share your experiences. We love to hear it all. Yes, spill the quantum tea in a group. We all love hearing it. So that's it for tonight. I'll see you next week on Thursday night. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming. And I'm so grateful for having you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.